Hey guys, so it's a few days after I actually listened to the full album and everything, and I totally forgot about the different trailers and stuff that they had for the album. So I put a poll and everything like 2 hours ago on YouTube asking if you guys want me to include them or wait, because I wasn't sure how heavy like into the storyline stuff that it was. But you guys said that I should probably include them, so we're gonna watch them. So we're gonna do the album preview, which I know I already heard all the songs, but I wanted to listen to it anyway. And let me just say, this album has been on nonstop repeat. Like, every song is top tier, like, so good. So we're gonna do that, and then the official trailer 1 and 2. So we're gonna do these, and I'm just gonna add it on. I'm not sure the beginning or end of the album, probably the beginning of the video and stuff, and I'll just preface that I did already listen to it. But we're gonna get right into these, so let's go. Okay, and I know that the favorite series and stuff has like the teaser trailers and stuff too, and like the diary films, so I'll make sure to do those before I do the album too. But we're getting right to this. That is loud. Okay, I like how it has like the credits and stuff at the bottom too. This song too, it like rose up my list so fast. Like, this is probably one of my most like repeated ones too. I love the chorus of this song too, especially. Dude, Sunwell looks so good. Like, see, and with The Ring especially, I was surprised how much I love this album, because normally I'm not a fan of heavy autotune or like that kind of style of stuff, but they particularly use it so well throughout it, like in a tasteful way that it makes it sound good. So I love this song so much. This is one of the standouts to me. That swelling and just how it comes back in. This one too, I've been having this one on repeat. I like how it goes back and forth between the black and white and the color. Just that progression with Junko right there. Yeah, like I said, I love the album, and it's been literally on repeat. Like, especially in the car with like all the surround sound and everything. It's so good. It's so like atmospheric and just such a vibe. But we're gonna get right into the official trailer number 1. I like that they do these like kind of trailer, like cinematic things.
완전한 세계. 완전하기에 우리의 세계는 안전합니다. 작은 오차는 곧 균열이고 균열은 곧 고통으로 이어집니다.
I like the color grading on this. Those really like blues in the shadows.
삶에 있어서 불필요한 감정이며 부정적인 요소입니다. 우리는 여러분들을 보호하고자 합니다. 균열이 없는 세계는 언제나 아름답습니다. 각자의 위치에서 삶을 살아가는 여러분들의 이 세계 자체입니다.
Ooh, that was the pageant stuff at the end of the music video, right? Like in the part afterwards.
언제나 옳습니다. 당신이 옳기에 우리가 옳은
Dude, this is like movie quality. Like what?
조심하십시오. 우리는 당신을 위해 일합니다. 우리는 당신을 위해 헌신합니다. 이 모든 것은 당신을 위해 내립니다. 의심하지 마십시오. 당신은 언제나 스스로를 의심하지 마십시오. 우리가 옳은 것입니다. 명심하십시오. 우리는 당신을 위해
Yeah, those blues and yellows and stuff are so cool.
의심하지 마십시오.
언제나
의심하지 마십시오.
의심하지 마십시오.
용보다 고통으로 오르시고 언제나
의심하지 마십시오. 당신은 스스로를 언제나 의심하십시오.
Ooh, I like how they switched that around. Okay, yeah, I love the whole feel of that. It was so cinematic, especially with those blues and like the dark shadows and everything. But it very much gave me like Star Wars and Hunger Games vibes, like that kind of style. But I love the whole feeling of that. It was very much, especially at the end when they like switched up like the message of like you're being hit, like brainwashed pretty much to like do as people say and not question it. And it's just like go about your day like that. And I like how they switched that up at the end to like wake up into this new world and everything. And that is so cool. And that quality is very cinematic. I loved it. But we're gonna get right into the trailer number 2. I don't know why my captions don't stay on. Yeah, like this like very like heavy shadowy kind of feel. It's very cinematic. I like it a lot. Like the blurriness. I like how they have that sound too, like especially with all like the answer kind of stuff and everything. And he looks so good. That black outfit. I like those signs and stuff, like the posters, like the propaganda posters of like, we're doing this for you, like protecting you, like shading you from all of the things in the world pretty much.
일단 우리가 하는 건 통제 링크에서 벗어나게 해주는 것까지야. 그 다음은 개인의 의지에 맡기는 거지. 강제로 끌고 올 순 없어. 두려움이 큰 거니까. 그건 스스로가 옳다고만 하는 그들과 다를 바 없는 일이야.
I like how that whole shot was pretty much like the yellows, like very older feeling and stuff, and then this black and white. I love how it's all the lack of color.
균열을 만드는 것.
Very uniform.
모든 것을 거꾸로 되는 이유가 멈춰져 있던 기계의 심장을 다시 움직이는.
I love how like mechanical and like EDM kind of noise the instrumental is.
기준을 세우고 감춰졌던 감정을 잡고 사람을 깨어나게 하는 거지. 세상의 통제에서 벗어나 다시 움직이게 하는 것. 그것이 우리가 하고 있는 일이.
That is such a good shot. I like how too it's eyes in the sky, and I remember at the end of Illusion, like the transition between Illusion and Weave, had the open your eyes like lyrics and stuff in it too, like the words over it. I can't get over how good all of them look. Like, the styling. Okay, I'm glad that I watched those. I really loved the whole tone of them. Very, like, definitely cinematic feeling and stuff, especially with those blues. And then, like, during the sit down, like, in the room and everything, they had, like, that yellow cast and everything on it, which the whole color grading was so good on this. And the shots, I love the composition of everything. Especially that last shot with Hong Jun in the middle, like that whole wide shot with him just like slightly and it just pulls back further. I loved that. And Sun, when he was running and everything, I loved the motion tracking and stuff on that. And like the whole smoke and then everyone running behind him and the different like transition pieces in it was so good. I love the whole like storytelling feeling that they're doing. It really, especially after I just listened to the album now, it like fits so well with it. I really love that. Like pretty much being told to stay in the system for your protection and just it's the normal thing to do. But when you open your eyes, it brings you into this new world with new decisions and like waking you up pretty much from that. And I love that. Like you can definitely tell the like correlation and stuff throughout the songs and everything too when you listen to the album. So I'm glad that I watched these. But I will probably put this before listening to the actual album. So yeah, I think I'll put it before. So we're going to get right into the actual album listen now. So I hope you guys enjoy. And yeah, bye. Hey guys, it's Kaylee. Welcome back to the channel. Today we're going to be doing another ATEEZ album. We're going to do their newest one, the World Ep.1 movement. I did skip the Fever series for now. If you didn't see like the posts and stuff that I made about it and everything, we're going to come back to it, don't worry. But I know that a majority of their set list from their concert is from this album. So I want to get all these songs done. And then I will backtrack through the different songs from the other albums that are going to be on it. And then once we are finished with that, we'll do like the whole Fever series and everything. And like deep dive and everything into it. So I hope that's fine with everybody. But I'm excited for this one because I have been hearing so many good things, especially about Cyberpunk and The Ring and Sector 1, literally like all of them. But I am going to be honest, I've been on Twitter and I've seen all the Cyberpunk choreo. I haven't seen like the full thing, but I've seen like clips and everything, especially of Seonghwa. So I'm excited for that song specifically, but I just wanted to put that out there. So I know like a little bit of it, just like a little bit of like the melody and everything. But we're gonna go by the playlist, like on Spotify listing. So I think that's right. So Propaganda, and that's like the little like minute opening. Sector 1, Cyberpunk. We are gonna skip Gorilla because we did like the whole separate video for it. And then The Ring, WDIG or Where Do I Go, and then New World. So I am excited. But yeah, we're gonna get right into this. So let's go. Okay, so we're gonna start with Propaganda, and I'm really excited for this album because I know from Gorilla and then like the snippets of the other songs that I have heard throughout like the music video like behind and all that stuff, that it's very like more on the heavy side and like electronic kind of stuff. So I'm really pumped for it. But we're gonna get right into this. So let's go.
Wake up. Wake up, world. Are you there?
Ooh. Ooh, okay, so this was what they had in the music video behind. So I remember that part. I love that synth though. It's very like heavy synth, kind of like grunge rock. Like, I don't know the exact term or anything, but like that kind of style. I really like that, how that like is so heavy coming into it. Yeah, very like heavy rock. Ooh, I like those hits. I love the distorted vocal and stuff that it has. Yeah, like I said, I love when they do like the little opening pieces like that because it really sets the tone for the whole album. And especially with this one, I love how the vocals were very like distorted, especially like going further into the song, and how that like electronic kind of synth and everything was so overpowering with all like the instrumental in the back and stuff. It was so nice. It's such like a mood setter for the album so far. But the next one we're gonna get into is Sector 1, so let's go. Ooh. That's from the opening of Answer, right? Dun, dun. Dun, 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 dun. Ooh. Ooh, I love that. The very like high-pitched echoey sound in the back. Ooh, I love that. Ooh. I am loving the sound of this. This is like very anthem-y, but not like in the sense of them all together and like unison singing. Like one of them together is like definitely fits like the whole like revolution and like whole feeling of this album. I love how especially Sungwa just sounded on that part. And then you get that electric sound. I like those claps. Ooh. That transition. This is the part where Mingi and Hongjoon is so heavy. Like the instrumental, especially that bass and like the electronic and stuff in the back. And then it switches into Yoonho and it still has that sound, but it goes in so much of like a smoother atmosphere. Like just how heavy this part is. We're going back because I loved how Hongjoon decided on that. His flow right there. And how it just like fades out like that. Ooh. They do that the same thing with Wave. They have like the triple build up right there. Ooh, yeah, like the wave and stuff too. Dude, that song is such a freaking hype song. Like, jeez. Okay, what an opening to an album. That was so high energy and so good. I loved the instrumental in that, how heavy it was, but it had a slight switch up. Like, especially I loved Hongjoon and Mingi on this. Their tones and like the way that they went over that beat and everything when it switched up was so good. And then Sunghwa, I loved when he was on the chorus. It had that kind of echoey, kind of like megaphone sound, like talking through it and stuff. Like, and that's very like revolutionary, like speech leading wise, which I love that so much. Like that is such a good setting for this album so far. But the next one is Cyberpunk. And this one, I have been seeing so many clips on Twitter for this choreo. Choreographers, who decided to add chairs into this choreo? Because I don't know if you hate us or you love us, because that choreo is something else. And I could not steer clear from any of these videos because it was literally like the top ones that would pop on my thing. So I've heard like a little snippet of this, but I'm excited to hear the whole thing. So we're gonna get right into this. So let's go. Ooh. Ooh. Yeah, that's literally like what this whole album is sounding like so far, like cyberpunk, like that whole, not techno, but kind of like more that style, especially with like the synth instrumentals and stuff in the back, but just like clicked in my brain. Yeah, I've heard this part. Ooh. I love how that echoey sound right there. Ooh, when you get the raise right there. Dun, 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 dun. Dun, 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 dun. Okay, these lyrics, first of all, are very opposite of what the freaking choreo is. Like, what the hell? But I love... Ooh, I love how he has the double vocals on there. Dude, Sungla's voice fits this so much. That deeper, like, smoother tone. I love that instrumental right there. Dun, dun, dun. Dun, 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 dun. Dude, Jungho. I love the beat of that instrumental there. Ooh, those harmonies. I love that effect he has on his voice. Ooh, I love how that comes back in. Ooh. Okay, I know why that's so raved about now. Like, jeez. Okay, first of all, that song, I can see why it is so raved about. I loved the sound of that. Sunghwa, he stuck out a lot on that song. I loved his tone because he had that regular tone that he usually has in like that deeper register, but it's like so warm and smooth. And that, especially over that part that he had, was so good. I loved it. I love the effect that Hong Jun had on his voice too, and he had that like the double vocals and stuff. I loved that. So I apologize. We're gonna listen to this one again because it was so good. But I caught like glimpses of the lyrics. Wasn't really paying attention to the lyrics that much because the instrumental was so good and they sounded so good. But right now, listen to this again. So I hope that's fine. Like, I love the whole sound of this album so far. Yeah, Sunghwa is a highlight of this song for me. So it's like they're like in this darkness and stuff, and they're not even feeling anything. It's just emptiness. Who was doing that harmony with him? Did Sunghwa? I love how when it switches to Hongjun's part, he has the double vocals, but they're not at the same timing. It's like a second afterwards. But I love how the instrumental pretty much just all strips out and it's just that kick right there, like going to his beat. But I feel like the other voice that he has really like fits it so well. Like dun, 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 dun. Like that's pretty much the only instrumental right here. Dun, 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 dun. And then Mingi came to same kind of thing with that lower voice. Ooh, I love that line. Lost in the black and white photo booth. Because black and white is like so uncolorful, like it's pretty much no saturation, so it's like you're not even feeling anything. Yeah, like numb to everything. I love this build up with Jungho and Hongjun. I love how when Sunghwa and San do that part, and even Yasung too, they have that like throatiness that they bring out with their tone. Full of life. I love those higher like background harmonies right there. And then those hits at the end. Yeah, that song was so good. I loved how all of them sounded on it, but especially Sungwa, like his voice fits that so nicely. And I love the different like layering of vocals and stuff, especially throughout that song, was so good. But like the whole feeling of it was just so kind of like old school techno, kind of electronic kind of stuff, like mixed with a little bit of like slightly like rockish kind of element, but I love that. But the next one is technically Gorilla on the track list and everything, but we are gonna skip that one. So we're going right into The Ring. I feel like this one I've seen like a snippet or maybe two of. I think I don't remember what it sounds like or anything. So I'm excited. But the way that this album's going so far, because Sector 1 would lead into Gorilla, and that is such a high energy song. And I'm excited to see, because there's this one and there's two more after this. So I'm excited to see where they bring the album, because we're about halfway through it. We're going right into this. Ooh. I love those hits. And that like kind of voice coder kind of effect he has on his voice is so nice. Ooh, those hi-hats and kicks and stuff right there. Ooh. We just awake on fire. Okay, I remember this. That. Not okay. Not okay. I love how there's no hits right there. It's literally just in this part, there's those claps. And then this, there's nothing. Dude, Sungwa is killing this freaking album. I love that. Okay. I love this song. We are only a minute and 32 seconds in. I think this is my favorite on the album. This is like a close tie so far to Cyberpunk, but this instrumental, man, is so good. Like, I am loving, especially the pauses and breaks and everything in this. And like those kicks were so good. But we're going back. dun, dun, dun. Defender. Ooh, but I love how fast or like that beat is, like the very faint. Ooh. Okay, I want to read the lyrics as much as possible, but this, like, the beats to all these songs are so intense and like there's so much going on that like I don't read the lyrics, and I'm just like, this whole album I know is so lyric heavy, especially. So I am sorry. But it sounds so good. Ooh. The way that comes in, that just break. I love that part in the back. It's like that electronic kind of. Those strings. Okay, that song was it for me. I am so sorry. I paused so much during that. But that instrumental, like, was so intense and, like, in your face, and I loved it. Like, intense is what I would use to describe that song. Like, I loved that song so much. And, like, especially Yoonho and Sunghwa, those two sounded so good on this song. I loved it so much. Like, the swelling, the breaks, and like how it comes back into, like, just the build up is so good in that. And I love how it was after Gorilla, because like what I got from the lyrics and stuff, it was more of like pretty much joining together and like this revolution and everything, and like changing how things are, like taking away the darkness and stuff, which related to Cyberpunk a lot, like how you're in that darkness and everything and very like empty and stuff, and this is kind of like they're trying to change that and like take that darkness away and start anew, and I love that so much. Like literally like a revolution, like that's what they're talking about in this, at least that's my interpretation. But I loved that song. But yeah, that song was so good. I loved it so much. It was probably my top on the album so far, I think. I don't know. Gorilla and Cyberpunk 2 are so good, but I feel like that one's just like slightly above it, just in my personal taste, just from how the instrumental was so intense like that, and like the build up and just like everything fits together so nicely. But we're gonna get right into the next one, which is Where Do I Go? And it's the second to last on here. So I'm excited to see how they keep going with this album, because I have been loving it so far. Like I love this sound for them, especially in this part. But we're gonna get right into this. I love how they always start with like this like swelling electronic sound. Ooh. Ooh, I love those backing vocals. Ooh. I have been loving how they do that. They like bring it up into like this very big build up, but then like the release and everything is so good. It's just like it still has that intensity, but it's very like much on the slower side, but it still has like with that instrumental and everything adds to the vocals so well. Like that is so nice. Oh, I love that. I love those kicks. Ooh. Ooh, what does that sound like? That sounds like one of their other songs that he does that in. I can't remember. I love how echoey kind of beatboxy kind of sound that is right there. I love that. Ooh. I love that effect right there on their voice. This is like very atmospheric. I am loving the sound. Okay, I loved the sound of that song. I loved the whole atmosphere vibe it had. It was very... I feel like it definitely had similar instrumental to the other songs and everything, but this one had something different, like that extra, like, emptiness, like echoey kind of sound was so good. And it really made you focus on their voices a lot more, like the different kind of like elements and everything they had compared to the instrumental and stuff too was so nice. Like the way they build up and just like the release, especially in that song, was so good. I really liked it, and I can never talk enough about ATEEZ's lyricism and their writing when it comes to these albums. Is always top tier. And these are lyric videos, so I know that everything is not 100% accurate. So I will look on my own time, like afterwards, at like the official like Genius and stuff, like lyric pages. But I love the lyric writing on this album specifically. Just the amount of like metaphors and just like the wordplay that they're using is so nice, and just like the different lines are just so good, especially with Hongjin and Mingi. Like their raps and everything are so nice. But especially during that song, I loved, it was just like the lyrics related so much to that atmosphere vibe, like the very like falling down into this like deeper side of yourself, like the darkness and everything, kind of like losing yourself a little bit. And I love that, like the feeling of the lyrics mixed with the feeling of the instrumental, like that comparison stuff is so nice. And I loved it so much. Like it was so good. But we're already at the last one, which is New World. I don't know if I've heard like anything about this one. Maybe. But I'm excited. These album listens, it's literally, I've been recording for almost an hour, or a little over an hour. These always go by so fast. It never feels like I am listening to them like that long and everything. And that's one thing I always appreciate with ATEEZ. But so far this album has been freaking amazing. I have loved the whole style of it. Very like that cyberpunk kind of feel mixed with like the echoey kind of atmospheric vibe that this whole album has had is so nice. But we're gonna get right into the last one, which is New World. So let's get right into it. Like even that is so, like each opening for each song sets the mood for each one so well. Dun, 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 dun. Now they're going like full force into the movement. Ooh, okay, I've heard this part. And that part, Wooyoung's voice fits that so much. That brightness and stuff that he has to his voice, like the very forwardness really fits that kind of rhythm very well. Hesitating, why you waiting? Ooh. Like, especially that part. I love that fast kind of beatboxing rhythm right there. Like this, how they do this with every instrumental so far, they build it up so much and they just leave you with this like little like pit of emptiness with that, but it still has that like very harmonic kind of sound, if you know what I mean. Like, I love how they do that because it really builds the whole feeling of each song. Like, dun, dun, dun. Like it just cuts out. Dun, 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 dun. Can't you see me now? Can't you see me now? Oh, your world. Ooh, I like how they relate that lyrics and stuff to the other song too. Ooh, and the same lyrics, yeah. I love how they connect each song like that. Dude, Young kills that part. I don't know what it is. It is so... What's like the right word for it? Like very enchanting, like very hypnotizing, like his voice on that part. Like just the melody and stuff and the way he says it. Hesitating, why you waiting? Don't you hide it, don't you fight it. Dun, 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 dun. And that electronic sound in the back too. I like how in this one they have all the unison singing too. Like, I love how they ended it with this because that unison, like singing all together too, is very like movement-esque. Like, I love that. Like, just it makes it feel like so full and like an anthem, and it's so nice. And I've noticed they've done that a lot with their albums. Like in the Treasure episode 3 too, when they end with Dancing Like Butterfly Wings, they sing that unison too, and I love it. Yeah, I just love like the whole feeling that it always has. It's just always so nice, especially to the ending of an album too. I love how forward that instrumental is. Ooh. I love that melody. That song, I feel like I talked a lot about how I felt during it at the end right there. But I loved the feeling of that. I love how it went more into like the atmospheric realm and stuff, leading in from Where Do I Go? Because it really brought in those kind of like spacey elements, but then it also had that very like intense kind of style too that like Cyberpunk and stuff had. But that was so good. And they sounded great. I loved that instrumental especially. Like this whole album has been so cohesively like great throughout it. Like I feel like I could pick any one of these to be my favorite off the album depending on like what I was feeling a certain day. Like all of them, I love how they had like from the different elements throughout like the instrumental especially, like that very like swelling, and then you get those like the very intense buildup, and then it just like fleshes out, and then you get those like light harmonies and stuff leading into like the regular chorus. And most of these songs is so good. Like that whole progression in each one is my favorite. I love it. But I have to say, probably the lyric writing on this album especially is some of my favorite from what I've seen so far. Just the whole storytelling aspect throughout this whole album is so cohesive and just so very like full. I love it. Like it started with a like starting this like movement, like getting your attention, like pulling you into the album with propaganda and stuff. Like it was so, the instrumental especially was so forward and everything. It really like caught your attention. And then I love how leading into like Sector 1 and Cyberpunk, it really brought you into like this feeling of just like not knowing pretty much who you are, like this whole like emptiness and just like not feeling anything, like you're numb. And then pretty much going into Gorilla, which like Gorilla is like a hype song, like high energy. It's like we're gonna start this movement and like get back on track. The Ring, I have to say, if I had to pick a favorite on here, it would probably be The Ring, just from the sounding of it. And the instrumental is probably just like slightly above everything else, like in my taste. I loved that and how everybody sounded on it. But I have to say, Seunghwa, he stuck out on this album so much, probably in every single song that I heard. I feel like his deeper tone, like that special quality he has, is very fitting for this album. Like with the instrumentals that they had, I feel like his voice complemented it so well, and I love how they used him for the choruses a lot in these songs. And then we have Where Do I Go? I love how that pretty much brought you, because it was like bringing you deeper down into like this darkness and everything, and like losing yourself a little bit even more. And then in New World, it pretty much brought you back up. Like, I love how much of a roller coaster this kind of was, like pretty much bringing you into it and then falling deeper and deeper down and like losing who you are and like that feeling and just like feeling in general like you're empty, and then bringing it up into like changing like things into like your own way and like everybody listen because we're going to start this movement. And I love that. Like I like how, especially I said it a good amount of times, like how they sing in unison, especially in New World. It was very like coming together and very like powerful. Like that's definitely, whenever they do that, it just makes it feel so full and like a big like announcement and everything. And I love that. But I love the whole feeling of this album. Very like pay attention pretty much throughout every single song, and just the instrumentals in this. the instrumentals, the lyric writing, how everybody sounded too. I feel like most of the time everyone was in like a little bit deeper than they usually are in the other songs, and I feel like that's very fitting for what musically and everything it was. But I have to say, some of my favorite instrumentals from them, I love how it has like that very fast build up and then it just stops, and it's very light, and then it just like swells and builds right back into it. I love that so much. But they killed it with this album. I am so excited to finally see them live and these songs especially, because I've been seeing clips everywhere on Twitter. It's been so hard to like avoid it. But when I'm currently filming this, it's the 15th of November and I'm seeing them on the 28th. Wow. That's less than 2 weeks and I have nothing ready. I haven't even thought about outfits, anything like that. So we're gonna get on that. But like I said, we are gonna get into the Fever series after this. I just wanted to get to this album beforehand because I know that the Fever series is like a whole thing and I didn't want to like interrupt it just to get to this album. Because I know most of this is what they perform on the tour. But I looked up like a rough draft, left me no, I mean, I think I said it in the other videos and stuff, so I'm sure I know which ones to check out by now, but I will be getting to the ones that are on the Fever albums that they will be doing on tour. I'll do those like in a separate video before I do the albums, so I will listen to those songs before I actually go and see them. But I love this album so much. I'm glad that I can finally listen to these songs now. But definitely gonna do a like deeper dive into the lyrics and stuff on my own afterwards and like all that stuff. So yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed listening with me. Definitely a longer one, but I could literally talk all day about ATEEZ's lyric writing and the producing and composing of each song. Like I am like in love with their specific way that they create music. It is so impressive to me and so inspiring to anyone who is interested in that area of stuff. It's so good. So I'm excited to get into the other albums and all that stuff. But yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed listening with me and enjoyed a little bit of the commentary. And I am so sorry because I know I paused so much throughout this. But yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed and I will see you guys in the next one. Bye.